About 3 in 1 million people are diagnosed with pituitary gigantism. Victims of the disorder have a 2 to 3 times higher mortality rate than the average person. Any person of any ethnicity can be a giant. Join us today as we follow the lives of 3 teenagers struggling with gigantism on a daily basis.
So can one of you explain exactly what gigantism is?
Gigantism is a rare condition that causes abnormal growth.
So we have gigantism as a result of how there's a tumor on our pituitary gland, which, produces hormones and such. Being that there is a tumor on our pituitary gland, it causes the glands to produce more growth hormone than our bodies need. This can happen to anybody with the genes, so there's really no ethnic predisposition.
Yeah, that's why gigantism is sometimes called the pituitary gigantism.
So when did each of you know that you had gigantism? When did you first experience the symptoms?
Well, around 11 years old, I noticed I began to get taller than the other kids in my school. My parents told me that I was probably just going through a growth spurt, but in reality...
I started getting taller around the same age, too. Everyone was bullying me for being so tall.
Ryan, let's hear about your backstory. I heard that you inherited gigantism, which is quite rare. How did this happen?
To be clear, gigantism itself is not inherited, but other traits that cause abnormal pituitary gland growth are inherited. For me, I inherited abnormal MEN1 gene, which increases my risk of developing tumors.
Is this gene for MEN1 dominant or recessive?
The MEN1 phenotype is passed down in an autosomal dominant pattern.
To the outside world, gigantism allows a person to be tall and powerful. But how are the people with gigantism actually feeling? What are they experiencing?
As you can see, Brendan here, who has gigantism.
I don't have gigantism. Stop following me.
Anyways, the gigantism results in the body having a lack of adrenaline and therefore a lack of energy to do daily tasks. Not only that, but it can also cause diabetes, hypothyroidism, and hypogonadism. Okay. Gigantism also results in weak muscles. As you can see, Brandon is being foolish by running. Weak bones cannot support much physical activity. Therefore, it's not advised to engage in such activities. If a person has gigantism...
So if you say I have gigantism one more time, I'm gonna...
Now it's time for the history of gigantism with Thomas Murphy.
Johannes Weir first described gigantism as a condition in 1567, but he was unable to continue due to being tried as a witch. Pierre Maury, however, was successful in not only establishing gigantism as a legitimate disorder in 1886, but coining the term acromegaly to describe it. Robert Wadlow was the world's tallest man ever recorded in the history of mankind. He was 6 feet tall by the time he was 8 years old. He reached a total height of 8 feet and 11 inches, but sadly died at the age of 22 of an inflamed leg.
Many people struggle with gigantism every day. Professor Dr. Queen, how can these people prevent the effects of gigantism?
First of all, my name is Professor Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Rosa Ramirez. I didn't go to professor school to be called Queen. Anyway, gigantism can be treated, but you can't reverse growth. To treat gigantism, an experienced neurosurgeon, such as myself, will surgically remove the pituitary tumor, provided that it has well-defined borders. Hormone therapy is also not an impossibility.
Can some sort of medication be taken as well?
Oh, indeed. That would be the hormone therapy. A long-term, preventative medical routine would most likely have an effect. Though, if surgery and medication fail, people may resort to radiation therapy. The downsides to this therapy is that it takes a long period of time until the effects take place. Not only that, but this can cause learning disabilities and obesity in children.
Do certain ethnic or cultural groups tend to be more dominant for this?
Actually, gigantism isn't passed down, and it happens at random occurrences.
Thank you, Professor Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Rosa Ramirez, for enlightening us about the treatment of gigantism.
It's my pleasure.
Gigantism. Living large.
Go.
I may not have gigantism, but I can dance.
Nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit. Dip it all in mashed potatoes. Nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit. Dip it all in mashed potatoes. Dip it all in mashed potatoes. Dip the mashed potato, gobble, chicken nugget, biscuit in the barbecue sauce. Yum, yum, gimme a nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit. Dip it all in mashed potatoes. Nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit. Dip it all in mashed potatoes. Dip it all in mashed potatoes. Dip the mashed potato, gobble, chicken.
Just eat your bagel.
Biscuit in the barbecue.